Yes, as that unmistakable music indicates, wait, this is a program that's been beaten up on Tennessee. First, they knock them out of the NCAA tournament last year, and then remember Jeff Brom wouldn't leave them, quarterback you, so to speak, to go to Tennessee and be their coach. I'm speaking of the Purdue Boilermakers, who we're going through the rankings of where Athlon feels. I'm going to give you a little my opinion, high or low. I thought that they actually had at 54. California was a little high. But here we go. Purdue is their 52. I'm not going to go 52, 51, all this. I thought maybe quarterback Purdue, 52. I'm not saying they ought to be number one. A Big Ten. They rank them behind, say, Colorado. Well, wait a minute. Actually, Colorado, all things considered being equal, I've never understood quite why Colorado has done as well as they have. I thought Mike McIntyre did a great coaching job when he led them to the Pac-12 title game a few years ago. They won a national title, sort of, in 90. It was split with Georgia Tech, and Georgia Tech should have won outright. That's, there's something where you got old sports fan or old sports media, and they just hold on to something forever, and all that. Those bums in California, they took my Dodgers away. One of those guys. Who, by the way, I'm sympathetic to the guy in Brooklyn still to this day, and all that. But I would suggest to you that, yes, the Georgia Tech having to share the national title with Colorado is my big outrage. I thought that Colorado had no business whatsoever being anywhere near 91, being number one that year. They got Colorado 51. I would probably put that a little bit down. Here's one, Central Florida. Hey, remember national champion 2 years ago? Remember? Number 50. Could they be stock up from 50? We'll see. Boise State ahead of Central Florida. I know Boise State's been good. I'm not buying. You want to go to Boise or you want to go to Orlando? Maybe if you really, really, really like potatoes. I don't know. They call Idaho the Gem State. I don't know. Are they gems there and such? Houston 48, Pitt 47. Pitt used to be the program once upon a time, but yeah. Virginia 46. With the players around in Virginia, maybe that's a little low. Maybe. I mean, you got to put somebody up somewhere, Kentucky 45, I think, is high. I said this before. Vanderbilt is the lowest rated SEC school. This is desirable coaching jobs and really sort of the overall ranking of the program. I think Athlon has just put this out. Kentucky 45, I would put them behind Vanderbilt if everything was equal, and I told you why. Basketball school, you'll always be number 2 to them. And I know the Wildcats, they've beaten South Carolina 5 straight years. What can you say? I mean, Tim Couch, George Blanda, they all went to Kentucky. Okay, fine. By the way, this Benny Snell running back, one of the Steelers, and they're already talking about him splitting the carries with James Conner. I mean, so they've had some success, beat Penn State in a New Year's Day bowl game this year. I mean, I get it. But I'd put Vandy ahead of Kentucky. I'd say that, yeah, in terms of prestige and honestly, because it's such a basketball school, and I think I got an advantage. The guy got smart players. Plus, I can recruit Nashville, this sort of thing. Hey, if you want to be a quarterback, look, Jay Cutler was here. You want to be Jay Cutler or you want to go to Texas A&M and be Johnny Manziel? Come on. All right. Arizona 44, that's too high. Arizona has never won the Pac-12. Looking through this again, Missouri in the SEC is 40. Might be a little low. Utah 39, I would put Missouri ahead of Utah. Maryland 38, that's a program that ought to probably win more, but then again, they're in a Big Ten. A lot of competition there. TCU 37. Texas Tech 36. No way should they be that high. No way should they be ahead of TCU. Mississippi State is the next. That's kind of intriguing. Mississippi State ranked lower than Ole Miss. 35. Arizona State 34. West Virginia 33. And I know I'm going down. I said I'm doing now what I wasn't going to do, which is just sort of read off the rankings, if you will, because that can get to be very, very, very boring. Stanford is 32. And they're one of the 10 winningest programs of this decade. I think that might be a little low. NC State 30. NC State's the best college football program in North Carolina. Does that merit 30? I think it probably should, but realistically, does it? I mean, I want to see NC State do something like finish in the top 5 once. I think it could do it. You know. I would not put Iowa 29. I would not put Ole Miss 28. I think that's too high. I would not put Arkansas 27. I would put Virginia Tech 26. Boy, that seems low, doesn't it? Look at all those years they made bowl games. They're behind Michigan State. That seems to be a Johnny-come-lately. Why is Army behind Navy if Michigan State is ahead of Virginia Tech? Wisconsin 24. Then we go back to the SEC. South Carolina 23. You know what? Best coaching job, they say. And with that overall status of the program where they are, you know. South Carolina 23? Only because they share a state with Clemson. Otherwise, I'd have them higher. You heard me. Oklahoma State 22. I'm not sure I'd put them out of the Gamecocks. I really am not. Then we look at, let's see here, Miami 21. Boy, is that a downhill slide for the Miami Hurricanes. And I'm not sure I'd put them that high. You got your football stadium an hour away from campus. Nobody goes to the games. Pro town. Boy, I mean, you really, I think Miami, you know, you talk about the struggles that college football programs have in pro towns, be they Cincinnati, be they Pitt, be they Temple, be they, I don't know, Army, be they Boston College, let's see where to Georgia Tech, Miami being one, obviously. I mean, University of Tampa just dropped football as soon as the Buccaneers were said that they were going to play there. You look at SMU, you look at Houston and Rice, you look, I mean, there's so many. I've even theorized that it could hurt Southern California and UCLA that the Rams and Chargers have returned. Yes, Chargers returned. They were in LA in 60. But still. But Miami's beyond UCLA, and I can see that. Nebraska, which has had 2 straight 4 and 8 years, still 18. Oregon, all that Nike money, and that's big, but only 18. Washington, 17. And then we get to the Tennessee Volunteers. They haven't won the conference in a generation. They haven't won a division in 12 years. They've got back-to-back losing records. But Tennessee is ranked 16th. A lot of money in the program. Got to give them that. A lot of fan support, a lot of positive energy, despite the failures of the program recently. That's all good. Not a lot of players in the state. I'm not sure I'd rank them 16. I would put Washington and Oregon, just looking at this list, Washington and Oregon ahead. Yes. Miami, I think Miami is yesterday's program. UCLA seems to be second fiddle in LA to Southern California. We can debate that. Anyway, Auburn, number 15. That's actually not bad for being second fiddle in the state of Alabama. Penn State, 14. Think about that. Penn State, 14. And Athlon says, you know why they're 14? Because they play in the same division as Michigan and Ohio State and get their tails kicked against them. Then again, what's Penn State won in the last 30 years? Now, I know they've had some 10-win seasons, but they haven't won the national title since 86. You know. Texas, Notre Dame, 13. Interesting. Texas A&M, which has not won the national title since 39. They are ranked 12th. If you're looking at overall coaching jobs, yes, I think A&M deserves to be in the top 10. I do. I think they deserve to be ahead of Texas if you're talking about coaching jobs, because A&M pays. They're the first school that ever made a football coach highest paid employee in the university. Jackie Sherrill, 1982. Michigan, to talk like Fielding Yost, only 11th. Only 11th? Michigan, winningest program in the country. 11th best coaching job, huh? LSU, 10. Florida State is number 9. Then you've got Oklahoma. Oklahoma, you say. All right, I see it. Clemson, only 7. Well, they've won 2 of the last 3 national titles. Only 7 for Clemson. Southern California, number 6. I might have ranked them number 1 if the Rams and Chargers weren't in town. Florida, number 5. Florida, Florida. Our women are the fairest. Our men are the squarest. That's the alma mater, you see. Okay. No, I didn't go to Florida. Texas, number 4. It's the most lucrative school. That's why you have that. Plus good talent in the area. I don't debate that. I just would take A&M. The other thing I mentioned, what I would keep California down a little bit. California, Cal Berkeley. Down. They had them at 54 in terms of prestigious coaching jobs, college football. I'd rank them lower because of the politics there. I think that's one of the reasons why Texas isn't the program it used to be. Ohio State 3, I'm not sure that I wouldn't have them number 1. Biggest budget there is, plus a lot of talent in Ohio. And everybody in Ohio wants to play there. Alabama, number 2, not number 1. I would have thought for sure Alabama's number 1. So who is number 1? Well, kind of sickening. How did the Battle Hymn of the Republic get to be Georgia's fight song anyway? Would somebody explain that to me? I've never had that, You didn't fight for that. It's your Columbus Blue Jackets fight song or something. I feel like Leonard's Losers should be coming on or something like that. Yes, Athlon ranks Georgia as the number 1 coaching job, and all things considered number 1 program. Reason why, and I do kind of see this, and I understand their argument. I can see why I'd put them over Alabama. Sleeping giant is awake, they say, as terms of the Georgia Bulldogs. Perhaps no job in the country offers the best of every world like Georgia. Great recruiting base, true. 2 years ago, Georgia had more players drafted in the NFL draft than any other state, including California, Texas, and Florida. Great place to live. Athens, suburban Atlanta. Great fan base, I give you that. You get the point. Only one knock. The administration hasn't necessarily been as all-in as some of the Bulldogs. Now, the other thing, and again, this goes into, and maybe I look too much at this, you can say, but I do believe it's there. Athens has been known to be, I don't mean to criticize it for this, but they tend to, let's say, think more to the left than College Station does. Or Liberty, or Knoxville. So would that make me have them number 1? Because, as I say, football, militaristic sport, and I'm sure it's Marky, here we go. As I said, Texas has won all these titles. What's another sort of progressive school? Missouri. People are picking them to win 10 games this year. How, Ole Miss isn't winning national championships anymore. And the one year they say they did in 1960, the AP doesn't agree. So how important is it? I get that. How important is it? It would be enough for me to take Ohio State over Georgia if I was ranking best coaching job, in my opinion, because all the money and all that. But yeah, Athlon's saying best coaching job, if you could have any of your pick and you were a college football coach, the Jaja Bulldogs. What say you, Jim Chaney? Why'd you come to Tennessee then? I guess it's not a head coaching job. Okay, yeah. Tennessee, by the way, 16. Virginia Tech, 26. I think Virginia Tech's a little low. I'm not sure that Tennessee isn't a little high, but then again, I'll tell you who I thought was really low is Michigan at 11. But then again, they've been falling behind Ohio State a lot, so that's why Ohio State is only number 3 and not number 1. We'll do a media watch when we come back. Tri-City Sports Now.
Do you love straw?